Have you ever been at a barbecue and suddenly noticed something a little strange, like nobody here is my friend? And after you notice it, you start to realize, I don't have any friends. Who are all these people? Most of the people there aren't really my friends. They're all connected to my wife somehow. Maybe they're people she works with, or maybe it's family members or friends she's known for years. And it starts making you ask questions like, when was the last time I had a close circle of friends like I used to? Not people I work with or people I occasionally talk to, but the kind of friendships that I used to have when I was younger. Because when we're young, friendships almost form by accident. You grow up around the same people, you spend years together in school, sports, or just hanging out in the same neighborhood. Without even thinking about it, you go through the same experiences together, and that's what builds trust. At that age, you don't have to plan friendships. They just grow out of the life you're already living. But something changes once life starts moving forward. You graduate, you move somewhere new, you start building a career, and before long, you're focused on building a family and keeping everything together. Now, none of that is bad. It's just that the environment that created those friendships when you were younger slowly starts to disappear. And once that happens, friendships aren't created like they used to. I think for me, the moment that it started to become obvious was after I moved halfway across the country. You know, when you move that far away, the friendships that you grew up with, they don't disappear overnight, but the distance makes them slowly fade away. You start over somewhere new and you first assume that things will work out the way they always did. You figure you'll eventually meet people and friendships will develop naturally. But adult life moves differently and everyone around you already has a lot going on. They're busy with work and family and their responsibilities, and the time that it takes to build real friendships starts to feel harder and harder. So most of us keep moving forward with life and assume that those friendships will form eventually. Then one day you're standing in your own backyard looking around at a gathering that you helped put together, and quietly it hits you that the social circle around you mostly came through your wife. It's at that moment that most men wake up to the fact that they don't have friends like they used to. Now, when that happens, a lot of men try to change it at first. You think maybe you should make more of an effort to build friendships again, and you talk to people, maybe coworkers or guys or people you met through the community. But building a real friendship takes something most adults don't have a lot of anymore: time. That same kind of time that existed when we were younger and spent years around the same people. Without that time, friendships usually stay on the surface. After a while, many men stop trying so much. Not because they don't want friendships, but because life keeps pulling their attention someplace else. Work gets busier, kids get older, responsibilities start stacking up. And when friendships aren't there, we tend to fill that space with other things. Some men throw themselves into work. Others dive deeper into hobbies or projects. Some just become quieter and keep more of their thoughts to themselves. The interesting part is how slowly that this happens. It doesn't feel like a sudden change, or it unfolds over years, which is why most men don't notice that it's happening while it's happening. A lot of men will say something like, my wife is my best friend. And there's nothing wrong with that. A strong relationship with your spouse is incredibly important. But friendships between men serve a different purpose. There's a kind of camaraderie and shared understanding that comes from men talking about life with other men who have been through similar experiences. And without that, many men end up trying to process everything on their own. Stress, decisions, frustrations, the thing that life throws at you. We sit with our own thoughts and we try to work through it alone. And the truth is, men were never meant to navigate life this way. The good news is that friendships don't have to stop being possible just because we're older. They just require more attention than they did when we were young. Instead of it happening automatically, we have to create opportunities for them. Sometimes that means joining groups built around things you already enjoy doing, whether it's a hobby or a local club or community events where people naturally spend time together. Because friendships still grow the same way that they always did, through shared experiences and time spent together. If men are willing to invest that kind of time again, those friendships can still form. And that matters more than men realize, because the alternative is something many men quietly experience without talking about it, trying to move through life completely alone. And that concept of dealing with everything yourself feels hopeless at times, like there's no one there for you. It doesn't have to be like that, but if you seek it out yourself, you'll find friends. When you're a man, No one is going to knock on your door and say, hey, do you want to go shoot some pool? It's not going to happen. Men silently and quietly dealing with problems is largely not talked about, and it's a huge issue with men around my age group, and I'm 52. We need male friends in our lives, but we have to look a little bit harder for them. On this channel, we talk about lessons many of us learn the hard way about life and relationships and responsibilities that come from them. If that kind of conversation resonates with you, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.